Tom Sawyer is a 2000 direct-to-video animated film from MGM Animation and was released in the year 2000. It is an adaptation of Mark Twain's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, with a cast of anthropomorphic animals instead of humans. The characters' voices are generally performed by country music singers. Plot: Tom Sawyer and his half-brother Sid are on their way to school when they see Huckleberry Finn fishing. Tom skips school to join Huck, but changes his mind after he sees Becky Thatcher. He tries to sneak into class, but Sid snitches on him to the teacher. Tom's teacher makes him sit with the girls, which Tom actually likes since he's able to sit next to Becky. He is also sat beside Amy Lawrence, a friend to whom he became engaged. She still has romantic feelings for him, but he is too transfixed by Becky to notice. Tom's pet frog Rebel then disrupts the class, meaning they're given early dismissal. On the way home from school, during the musical number, Hook, Line and Sinker, Tom tries multiple times to steal a kiss from Becky, but is thwarted each time by her father, Judge Thatcher. The next day, as Tom is about to go fishing with his friends, Aunt Polly makes him paint the house as punishment for what happened at school. Tom, however, gets his friends to paint the house for him instead. That night, when Tom and Huck go treasure hunting, they find Endurin Joe and his friend Mutt Potter uncovering a chest of gold. Deputy Bean, who is visiting his wife's grave, discovers Joe and Mutt. As the boys watch from behind a tombstone, Joe brutally murders Bean, who tried to hit him with a shovel, frames Mutt and captures Rebel. Tom knows that Joe can track him down through Rebel, so he and Huck make a pact never to tell anyone what they have seen. The next day, at school, Becky accidentally spills ink on test results, but Tom takes the blame, for which he receives a thrashing with a ruler by the teacher. After school, Tom becomes engaged to Becky, before a musical number by Becky and Amy, One Dream, where the two individually express their shared love for Tom. He then admits he did the same with Amy, causing Becky to call off the engagement. Tom and Huck visit Mutt, who is on death row. They try to get him to remember Endurin Joe murdering Bean, but Mutt doesn't remember. Joe meanwhile finds Tom and Huck, but they escape on a raft. They celebrate their survival and friendship with a musical number, Friends for Life. When Tom and Huck return to town, they learn that the townspeople are mourning their deaths, believing the boys to have drowned. They disrupt the service, showing up at their own funeral, and are welcomed back. Amy, wanting to make Becky more upset at Tom, kisses Tom in front of Becky, making her believe that Tom has chosen Amy over her, and leaves before Tom can get a chance to explain, leaving him heartbroken. Judge Thatcher sentences Mutt to be hanged, but Huck and Tom testify against Joe at the last minute. Joe goes after Tom and Huck but fails and is pulled away by a river, while Mutt is freed and the boys are hailed as heroes. During the celebration, after making up with Tom, Becky talks Tom into exploring a cave, where they get lost and Becky begins to lose hope to finding the exit. Tom sings a number, Light at the End of the Tunnel, to try and reassure her that they will find a way out. Instead of finding an exit, they find treasure and Joe. Meanwhile, the townspeople notice Tom and Becky missing, and Amy, who saw Tom and Becky go into the cave, reveals where they are. The townspeople go to look for them in the cave. With Huck's help, Tom subdues Joe and is reunited with the townspeople and Aunt Polly. In the end, Amy becomes Huck's girlfriend and Becky becomes Tom's girlfriend. The next day, Sid again tries to snitch on Tom, but it backfires, as Aunt Polly makes Sid paint the house instead of Tom. The movie ends with Tom, Becky, Huck and Amy having a picnic, during which Tom shows the others a gold coin and tells them about another treasure hunt. Cast: Retta Kins as Tom Sawyer, Mark Wills as Huckleberry Finn, Hynden Welch as Becky Thatcher, Leanne Womack as Becky Thatcher, Clea Lewis as Amy Lawrence, Alicia Elliott as Amy Lawrence, Betty White as Aunt Polly, Dean Hagland as Sid, Richard Kind as Mr. Dobbins. Hank Williams Jr., and Kevin Michael Richardson as Enduran Joe, Don Knotts as Mutt Potter, Waylon Jennings as Judge Thatcher, D. Bradley Baker as Rebel the Frog, Pat Corley as Sheriff McGee, Marty Stewart as Reverend, Tom Adcox as Deputy Bean, Cheryl Bernstein, Jennifer Hale, David Kaufman. Character comparisons to original soundtrack: Leave Your Love Light On, Marty Stewart; Can't Keep a Country Boy Down, Charlie Daniels; Hook, Line, and Sinker, Mark Nezzler; Houseboat Painting Song, One Dream, Leanne Womack, Alicia Elliott; Friends for Life, Rheta Kins, Mart Wireless; Light at the End of the Tunnel, Reprise, Brian White, Rebecca Lynn Howard, Rheta Kins, Leanne Womack; Never, Ever, and Forever, Leanne Womack, Mark Willis. Production. The film was produced by MGM Animation, who were also responsible for All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 and Babes in Toyland. The film was not given a theatrical release but was direct-to-video. Critical reception. Harleen Ellin of the Chicago Tribune gave a negative review, saying that it strayed too far from Twain. An uncredited review in the Wichita Eagle was also unfavorable, calling it a shallow interpretation of Twain's work.